Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to a live stream. I'm always doing the same introduction, so welcome to quite a few people who are here early or before the stream starts. Sorry for being a couple of minutes late. I'm still jiggling around which screen that I want to have right in front of me. I'm still curious how streamers do it, that they've got the right angle. I always feel like I want to look at the camera, which is kind of right now, right in front of me here, right? So I've got it exactly at eye level, but then I still want to see the chat. So I put it right below where I am. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if the video and the sound is okay. Don't forget it. You can also adjust the settings of the playback. So maybe it's a lot of times when you might open YouTube, it might be on a default quality setting like 360p, 720p, 1080p. So you might have to nudge it up a little. I've got the mic kind of temporarily on a different stand to usual as well. I've not fully set this up since moving apartments, and I'm also using the lights from the lounge room / kitchen. We've got like these fancy lights in the kitchen. You can just see off in the background. So yeah, also 22 likes. Thank you so much for whoever's posting likes or thumbs ups, I think is the best way to put it, right? I don't think you can do thumbs downs. I guess you can on live streams. I'm not sure. So yeah, there's a few people here. Just a few kind of housekeeping things. If you've not watched a live stream before, I am from Australia. I am here in Moscow, Russia. I'm actually in Moscow region. I can't read or speak Russian. Okay, I can say a few words in Russian, the basics of getting by. But if you're typing in Russian, I can't read it. So I'm sorry. You're welcome to chat to each other in Russian. If you want to just type the @ symbol and then start typing the letters of that person's name, and you'll be able to chat with each other, and it'll highlight on each other's screen as you do that. So you're more than welcome. If anyone wants to translate something that someone else says, that would be super nice as well. Yeah, so I'll just go through a couple more things. I've got a few things that are pinned in the comments. One was a poll about the I Left Russia video. So I'll talk about that in a little bit, about the actual reason about the poll in a little while. This Q&A thing, I'm just testing out. I don't know how it works, but it says start a Q&A. Have a question for me, go for it, ask away. That's what I put as the title of it. I'm not sure how that works. So if anyone wants to try to do a Q&A, or I don't know what you have to do it, it's there. And then I've also pinned the ways to support the channel as well. So if anybody wishes to do a super chat, okay, super chat's sort of built into YouTube, but there is some other options because some don't work in some countries. So the SberBank, I've only posted 2 there today, and donation alerts. In the comment description of the video, in all videos actually, is also PayPal, buy me a coffee. And there's an Amazon link as well, which is actually, if you might happen to shop on Amazon, you can click the link through to your Amazon page. It doesn't change anything about what you're buying, the prices, or anything about you doing it. It just basically links back that I sent you to Amazon. And there is a very, very, very tiny percentage as a commission paid to the original poster. So if anyone ever goes on things like social networks where somebody's promoting an item like this is the best mouse in the world, links in the description, and it links to Amazon, then they'd get some kind of a tiny percentage from every mouse purchased, or if someone buys something else. But I'm not actually I don't really like doing online shopping. I think I bought maybe 1 or 2 things in my whole life from Amazon. I've never really got into this online thing. My wife does it every day of the week because it's easier than going somewhere to get things, and it's the same price or cheaper. So, and it's delivered right to you, literally. My wife's very happy now. In our building downstairs, we had a wild berries open in the underneath shops of the apartment building, and next door to the wild berries used to be a meat shop guy, and the guy had a meat shop, and now he's left or he's closed. I just noticed last week or the week before, now it's an Ozon pickup point. And then I saw today when I walked past some guys doing I guess they were doing some remodeling of the existing space that was there from when it was a butcher shop to now becoming a Ozon pickup. So yeah. So if anyone does do super chats, obviously they pop up on the screen. For donation alerts, I've got a little screen off to the side here, which obviously you can't see. I can't get them to pop up on the screen, but I can literally see them as they come here. Someone actually did do a donation 4 days ago. Anonymous donated, and it says, keep doing your great videos. So whoever did that 4 days ago, thank you. Donation alerts works more effective for people inside Russia because it's a little bit easier and connected than obviously while inside Russia. If you're inside Russia, you can't do, I think you can't do super chats. I'm certain you can't still. So yeah, that's all out the way. If anyone does have questions, please ask away. I do like to try to go through the chat as it comes in. I'm sorry if I'm getting behind on the chat and you're chatting more than I'm reading. I'm very sorry. We will be here for at least, well, minimum of 1 hour. I like to do 2-hour live streams. That's usually my thing. Let's see how it goes after an hour, hour and a half, if it's kind of still with people or not. If you like to be here, of course, time goes fast, right? They always say, time flies when you're having fun. You guys know that expression? Time flies when you're having fun. So yeah, Futuristic, I think, was the first person to comment. Futuristic, thank you. Hello. Irina G. Hi, Russell. We are here. Excuse me, I'm reading very strangely. I just thought I'd show you too. I have a Coca-Cola here. So whoever's done donations or donation alerts or whatever you've done, it's paid for this Coca-Cola. This is one of the imported ones. If anyone's not from Russia, now the problem is I've moved my camera slightly. So when you get things that are imported into Russia without Russian font or Russian, like all of the ingredients and contents, they've got to put one of these white labels on that it's imported. And this one's actually from Poland. So yeah, I bought this at Globus supermarket about a week ago, and I've had it in the fridge until just now. I've literally opened it. So cheers, everybody. For anyone that doesn't like Coca-Cola, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people who don't love it, but actually, I've not had one of the Coca-Colas for quite a while. I'm kind of fixated now on either on Baikal, Chernogolovka Baikal, or Dobra Cola. Well, I'm slowly going off Dobra Cola. I'm finding it too sweet now. It's not like it used to be when I first started drinking it. So, someone says, hi, Russell, Fed 13, 19 people. I think you're telling us how many people in the chat. Fed 13, hello. Spand, hi. Oh, I can do the pop-ups, can't I? What am I doing here? There we go. All levels are good. Thank you. Piothum. You sound fine. Thank you, Fortuna. How's it going? Good to see you in the chat. John, hello. Hello, John. Slaniki. By the way, this live streaming camera, hopefully when I get back from my travels, I'm going to change the program that I used to live stream through, and I'm going to pay for the subscription version. So it'll get rid of this powered by StreamYard thing on the corner. And also it'll allow 1080p live streaming because you have to pay for the subscription. I've never done that because I've always just been happy doing the free version because it's perfectly fine. So yeah, live life. Smash the like button. A lot of people like to say that in their videos. Smash the like button. I don't say that in my videos. I just say put a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Martimia's 70. Hello. Can anybody translate this? If you okay, maybe someone Mutant Reef. Someone can subscribe. Translate. Have a nice trip to Australia and come back fast. Greetings to your wife. She's coming with you. Yes, she is coming with me. Yeah, she actually got home from work and we had some dinner just before because we already prepared dinner for late night tonight. Yeah, we are going to Australia tomorrow. Our flight is at 11 p.m. roughly from Shevrementova to. We're actually going to Bali first, so we're going to Doha with Qatar Airways, and then Doha to Denpasar, which is Bali. I should have told you at the end, so you'd hang on the whole time watching. And we're going to have literally a day and a half in Bali. So we'll arrive late in the evening, I guess not tomorrow night, the next night. And then we'll have an entire day on Friday. And then early morning Saturday, we're going to fly Denpasar to Perth. It's only 3 hours and 3.5 hour flight. It was considerably cheaper to buy tickets with Qatar Airways return to Bali and then buy the Perth Bali flight separately, which is what I've done, right? So yes, we're going to be all up. It's exactly like 28 or 29 days. It's exactly a month, let's call it, between leaving the house to getting back to the house here. So thank you, M. After Australia, coming back to Russia? Yes. So yes, Giannata Conti. Yes, we'll be back. April 7 or 8. Again, I know these dates because I've looked at them every day for the last couple of weeks. And the minute everyone asks me tricky questions, I don't know them. So I've got printed out kind of the itinerary and everything like that. So yes, we are definitely coming back. Yes, escalator races. Who can run down the furthest? Who can walk up the fastest? Yes. So yeah, so I the last video of the channel was the well, not really, it was a review, I guess, of the new longest escalator in Moscow at Mariana Rocher metro station. I think I've got that wrong, but I think it's pretty close. Yeah, so that's the whole title of the video. I thought it was just sort of fun. I wonder if anyone else does escalator videos. There's a niche for everybody on YouTube. Put it that way. There's a niche for everybody. Coke is overrated. Always. I like Coke Zero. Yeah, I've never got into the Coke Zero and the Diet Coke. Now that you said Coke, I'm doing a cheers to myself. So thank you. Could not find that station you visited in the last week. Oh, Mariana, the one from the escalator is Mariana Rocha. It's on the northeast of Moscow. It's one of the 9 new stations on the BCL or the Big Circle Line. I can't remember. Bolshoi something linear. Bolshoi Big Circle Line. It's the new line that's literally just finished the complete loop of, it's mostly the Moscow region. But 9 stations opened at the same time, essentially about a week ago now. So if you look up Mariana Rochia, maybe someone can type the spelling of it, because I'm going to get that wrong every time. Global warming comes from there. It's already like 30 degrees there, and it's not even summer yet. Yes, well, it's kind of towards the end of summer now, because this is now March, April, that will be there. But the weather has been very warm. Now, let me just quickly pull it up. I'm already behind on the chat. So -1 where we are right now feels like -7. And Baldivis, which is the place where my parents live, it's 2:43 in the morning there. Oh, that won't show up. Oh, what a shame. And it's 18 Celsius at 2:44 in the morning. It's +5 hours time difference from Moscow. And it's 18 plus Celsius at 3 o'clock in the morning. So Tuesday, that's today. So today's already Wednesday, I guess. It's 32 Celsius today, 25 Thursday, 26 Friday, Saturday 28, Sunday 28, Monday 28. So yeah, it's kind of beautiful weather. I like that kind of 30-degree weather. I don't like 38. I like 28. It's much nicer. P or hum. I'm not sure what that means. Piorum? Oh, okay. P or hum. Oh, that's your name. Sorry. Oh my God, that's silly of me. No, and it was rubbish. Oh, the Escalator Gallery. That's the one at at, oh my gosh, Vorovyvogore. It is a new thing that opened. I mean, it is an escalator that goes between Vorovyvogore and up to the main street level. I mean, when I did it that day, I basically went to the escalator. I went up the escalator, went down it and up it about 4 times because I messed up a few times when I was filming. And then I walked along Vorovyvogore to where the snowfield is. And that day particularly, I actually booked in to do the tubing, the tube slide. There's normal skiing, which I can't do. And then there's a kind of kids tube slide, which it's for free to do. And you can basically book the ticket online and they give you the, what do you call the cable car ride wristband to go on the cable car to the middle station. Then you can do the tubing how many times you like until you're tired. And then you can either take the cable car back up or you can go down to Luzhniki Stadium where the final one is. So I came back up and then I walked to the lookout, took some photos, and then I walked back and took the escalator down back to Vorovyvogore. So I kind of made a bit of a day of it. Maybe if you just go there, go on the escalator and get off, it's probably not interesting, right? But why not use free software like OBS? Yevgeny, my wife's name is Yevgenia, by the way. So Yevgeny, I've tried it. I keep worrying it's not going to work, or one thing's not going to plug in, or one thing's not going to work. I know what I'm doing with the StreamYard works every time. I know OBS I don't know it very well in terms of every function, but I know it better works with donation alerts. I know that for sure. Because it pops up on the screen and whatever someone's typed, it speaks it, right? Welcome to the Middle East. Yes, well, for a few hours. We'll be futuristic. We'll be there for, I think, about 2 hours on the way to Bali. But on the way back, we've got about 9 hours. I was just telling my wife before when we're having dinner, what we're gonna do for those 9 hours at the airport. When will you visit the city of Grozny? I'm not sure. Where is Grozny? Minchanov, I'm sorry. So I guess I'm not visiting there anytime soon. We went on an escalator actually in the metro system that was longer and more impressive than the poor man's escalator that you have to go outside to ride. Yeah, so the 2 different videos that I made are completely not related really, but they're both escalator videos. When I went on the escalator gallery, that had only opened a few days earlier, and they had a big thing with the mayor. That particular escalator gallery had been closed for a lot of years. It kind of basically was abandoned almost, and it was the building works. I think there was some problems with the foundations or the construction of it, so they completely rebuilt it at a truckload of money, I'm sure. The one at the metro station was kind of part of the big circle line, and the one that's the longest, was the longest one, was at Park Pobede. Park Pobede metro station, Victory Park. So yeah, I guess it's a thing, right? I mean, if you make a bit of a day of it, I mean, if you went in summertime where you could walk along the embankment by Vorovyvogore or by Luzhniki on the other side, you can actually have a bit of a nice day of it. You can walk over the bridge between Luzhniki Stadium and over to the other embankment, where is the escalator gallery, on the outside of the metro station for free. It's just a walkway, right? So you can make a bit of a thing of it. Zangiv, здравствуйте, Zangiv. Hello. Also one of the channel moderators. He's got the little cog there. Make a fitness channel, main exercise, walking up the Russian escalators. Best method, almost free. Tickets, fare only. Yes. No. I wouldn't be able to last with a fitness channel. It would be kind of a few videos and then I'd be one and done. When I worked on cruise ships, I tried to match my roommate for a long time. He was going to the gym a lot. And I kind of did about 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row. And then that was it. Andrew. Oh, Andrew, your last name, Jamison. I've got to bring a bottle of Jamison's from the duty free back to Australia. My mum needs a bottle to give to somebody for a birthday gift. Do you have any pets? We don't have any pets. No, Irina. We've been looking after occasionally a neighbor's cat in the same building when we were in the other apartment. If you've not seen either video, the cat's not been in any video. I post a couple of photos on the Telegram channel. We would like to have a cat. We would dearly like to have a cat. I think I was blocked for a few minutes. That's strange. I've not done anything, clicked anything. I'm aware that a lot of VPNs were blocked in Russia. What do you use? White Infinite. I'm using at the moment one called Tomato VPN. That's the name of it, Tomato. The one I was using stopped working about a month ago now. That was working incredibly well. That's the one I use on my phone, is the Tomato one. I don't know what the one on my computer is called because it's on the... I only use it when I use... what's this one called here? This is Microsoft Edge. I don't use it. I only use it when I use the other browser. So I don't know what it's called for my computer, but Tomato VPN. I think as soon as they get blocked, someone finds another one and it works. So there was no... So there were only... the pancake machine wasn't there. It was next to the counter where there's like a little metro kind of help desk where they sold like little souvenirs. It was kind of, as I said, so I wonder what happened with that machine. Was it having problems or it was faulty, I wonder? I haven't been back there since because it's kind of not necessarily out my way, but unless I kind of was going to go up to Vorovy and stuff. Moscow Sun. Have around the Moscow Sun and cable car between Luzniki and Vor. Yeah, I want to do Peace Duke. I want to do the cable car. Excuse me. Now I've had the Coca-Cola. On a Monday. On a Monday, it's 100 rubles to ride the cable car. Only on Mondays. Tuesdays, it's like 150 or 200. And then on the weekends, it's like 400 or 500 rubles for the cable car. So if you do it on a Monday, which obviously everyone's at work, that's why they do it cheap on Mondays. I want to make the video of the cable car that day. I should have done it really when I went on the tube riding, because it would have been kind of a good combination thing. But they going to Den Haag tomorrow. We're going to the airport. Our flight's not till 11 o'clock at night. So I like Den Haag. I can go there all the time. And go walk right through to the back, and they've got the orchards. They've got the kind of lakes. You can go out to where is Estankana, and they've got the donut place. Did I prepare a gift for my wife? Yes. By the way, Valerie in Ekaterinburg, thank you for the donation alert. Hello, thank you for observing Russian life and shops. Come back faster. We'll miss you. Good luck with your trip. Valerie, maybe it's Valerie. Valerie, I think that's a guy's name, I think. Sorry if I'm getting it wrong. Yeah, we'll be gone for 29 days. I will make videos pretty much in Bali and Perth. I'm not sure for the one day in Bali we'll do it, but definitely on the way back, we've got a couple of weeks. 100% there'll be videos. So if you're still following the channel, I've got 3 videos from Moscow that I can still put on the channel. The one of the railway stations or the metro stations. The one from the fishing convention, which I think will get about 7 views. But for anyone who's wondering where all the men are in my videos, because there's always women, that fishing convention will prove that to you. And then yesterday, I went to the Moscovich car dealership and to go see the Moscovich 3 car. So, sorry, I'm kind of looking off to the side because I keep wanting to go look at the comments. So, yeah, Valerie, thanks. Yeah, come back faster. Yeah, we've got the return ticket booked. I'm kind of interested when I get back about this Sved. There's meant to be a replacement for IKEA opening at one of the shopping centers in Moscow, called Sved House. I'm curious about that, and I'm curious about Rostix when they will open and replace KFC. Or I don't think it will be all the KFCs, but at least a few will. So thank you for the donation alerts. It's very appreciated. Yes, I'm going to cheers you for that. Imagine if you did a cheers every time somebody kind of tipped you, and you had like a beer or alcohol or something. Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. On the way to Perth, you're going to transit in Bali, so you can please make a video about Bali. Yeah, we won't go on that one day. We're there on Friday, basically entire day, night, and then Saturday morning early is the flight. My wife wants to just go buy some sandals. and a hat. Mostly for things for when we come back to Bali, because we're going to go to a resort and relax. And we're probably just going to go out for lunch and dinner. So I won't really be too much of Bali. It might be a little bit of Kuta. And that'll be kind of about it. So 1776. Oh my gosh, what's your Marley? Thank you for buying Coca-Cola. Thank you for it's called Buy Me a Coffee, right? I can see that on emails, by the way. Have a good and safe trip. Thank you. Yes, it's tomorrow night, the flight. I kind of get all the paperwork today. I printed out everything we need to take with me. For the flight from Bali to Perth, you can do check-in at the counter, but they charge you. It's one of those cheap airlines where they charge for everything, right? So I printed it. I did the online check-in. Then you got to print out the itinerary, which has got the barcode. So yeah, I went and did that at the local printout shop. So thank you for the buy me a coffee. It's super nice of you. Visit Tatarstan, especially Kazan. It is, especially Tatarstan. It is. Yeah, I've got a friend who's in Kyrgyzstan at the moment, and he's invited me to come to visit him in Kyrgyzstan. Oh, Kazan's in Russia. Yeah, Kazan's in Russia, right? Not in Tatarstan. Yeah, there's a lot of places I need to visit, really and truly. Angel Tube Station on the London Ground is one of the longest we have in the UK. There is almost a long one at Heathrow, Terminal 5. Yeah, so when you go to the satellite B2C, in Perth Airport, when I arrive at the international airport, they've just finally, after 15 or 20 years, they've got a train that goes to the airport now, from the Perth city to the airport. And it took them like 5 years to build. We were wanting it for the last 20 years. And that apparently has got the longest escalator in the Southern Hemisphere at the Perth International Airport. So that might be worth, talking about escalators, it might be worth making a video. Love the channel. Thank you. Yoku Kofusuke. I wanted in my days to come and live in Australia. Now I'm happy that I stayed. Now I met you on your YouTube channel. Thank you, M. Yeah, that's very nice of you. Sorry for not looking up. Have a safe trip from South Carolina. Thank you. Yes. I hope everything goes smooth. I'm a very over organizer. So when it comes to not so much planning what we're going to do every day of the week, but just the flight, getting to the airport, getting from the airport home, flying to Bali, from Bali to Perth. I'm a bit over organized with that kind of thing. And I like to do that. I like to just make sure I know what's going to happen, when and how and what. I'm not a little bit of a, let it happen, fly on the seat of your pants kind of person. So greetings from Perm. Hello. Здравствуйте. Say again, peace, Duke. Again, I can't read Russian, so if you wrote something in Russian, I'm sorry. I think that says Kuzni Tochka, though. I'm not sure what the first words are, but something about Kuzni Tochka. I like how there are no political messages in your videos. Yes, thank you. Just the basic things a normal citizen of any country has to go through, like running errands. Yes, thanks. Yeah, that's the whole point from the very beginning. That if I remember in Australia when I was younger than I am now, that Switzerland was always the neutral country, right? And you always want to be Switzerland, where you're the neutral country or the neutral person. So confused you also. Except running on super long escalators, yes. Yeah, so I want to go see that one in Perth. Thank you for the UV7. Thank you for the words of appreciation. You got real Coke, yes. So this is real Coca-Cola. This is, if anyone's watched the video about can I buy Coca-Cola in Russia, I made that about a month or so back. And I think I'm holding a can of Coke in the picture. I don't know how I did the thumbnail now. But this is Coca-Cola from Poland, from the Coca-Cola factory. I would imagine it's in Warsaw, Krakow, I don't know. So this is real Coca-Cola from a Coca-Cola factory brought to Russia. It's not Dobra Cola. I don't have the Dobra Cola today. I've got Dobra passion fruit, I think I call this. Which the Dobra Cola is made at the factory that made Coca-Cola in the past in Russia. So now, for instance, if you want to buy real Coca-Cola, it's mostly from Kazakhstan, some from Uzbekistan, Poland, Turkey, Iran. Somebody showed me photos of the ones from Japan, from China. So yeah, that is as Coca-Cola as Coca-Cola gets. Hi Russ, are you going to visit Uncle Peter? Oh, blogging trucker. I was just talking to my wife about it earlier, about going to visit Peter, my Uncle Peter. Yes, I am going to definitely go see him. I did send him a message asking him if he wants to be in a video. I actually, believe it or not, we did a very basic blog together where we went down to a coffee shop when I went down to visit him one time. If you watch the old channel in that video. So yes, I've sent him a message on Facebook that I'm here next week. So Discord is English translator. Sending you some Coke. Yes, thank you very much. I saw that. Thank you, Maleni. Thank you. Spot in all of Moscow, what would it be and why? Oh, I've had this a few times, this question. I like going to Red Square for the history of that place. I have been into the Kremlin twice, I think, over the years. Both times, my wife doesn't want to come on these kind of day trips where I go out and just do things and walk around, and I'm completely happy. Yeah, I just like that kind of. It's just so historical to stand there and stand on the slippery steps on the cobblestones while it's in winter now. Walk down to Zaradi Park, or going to Gorky Park and then walking along the embankment. I did that when I went to do the Maslenitsa video. I walked all the way along the embankment there, Muzon Park, up to Church of Christ Our Savior. And then I took the metro there, Krabopkinskaya, I think it's called, which is the red line back home. So, favorite spot. I like Veden Har as well. I like the donuts there at that donut place at the back of the park. It's kind of hard to say which place do I really like in Moscow because it's a lot of places. Fellow Aussie here, interesting residing in Moscow. Are you Western? Are many Westerners still relocating to Russia? I'm not sure about people coming here. There is other Australians here. I've met a couple here in Moscow. I've got a friend who I know online who's from St. Petersburg, who he's come to visit in Moscow a couple of times. His channel is called Aussie Spy. If you want to, he's got a channel with just under 1,000 subscribers. You visited in Perth. You were in Perth 2 weeks ago. Oh, there we go. Probably a bit warmer when you were there 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Perth Railway is very comfortable. Yeah, we've got the electric trains that run basically from the city north, south, down to Mandurah, Fremantle, inland to Armidale, and then the new train goes from Perth out to the airport. I haven't seen that yet because it wasn't finished in the last, or I guess in the last 2 years it has been. So, what do you miss? Valerie, thank you for donation alerts again. Thank you. What kind of Russian cousins do you like most? I'm not sure what the cousins part. I don't have any cousins, and what do you miss about? What do you miss living in Russia? I guess what you're asking me, what do I miss about Australia? I guess living in Russia. I'm going to say my mum's home cooked food, like Sunday roast. I've told my mum when we come that she needs to show my wife a couple of different dishes that we're trying to make here in Moscow that we just can't because we're missing a couple of ingredients to make like a brown gravy. I miss a particular chocolate biscuit called the Tim Tam. Tim Tam, they call it. They're a very famous Australian biscuit. I mean, it's not the be-all and end-all that I miss them, but they're always something that is synonymous with Australia. I miss going to Australian sport. Aussie rules football. When I get there next week, it's about 2 weeks before the start of the season. So I'm going to miss the start of the season. of Australian football, to go see live sport. I can go in Moscow to see football, ice hockey, no problems, right? But to go see your actual team and support your team and cheer for them, that's definitely one thing that I miss. I'm not sure about the cousins you like most, but I get the last part of what I'm missing. Everything else I can get here. I mean, look, I can buy this Coca-Cola. This was 79 rubles in Globus. I mean, look, if you're buying a Dobra Cola, I bought a Dobra Cola yesterday for 49 rubles in Perikostok. So, I mean, do I want to pay double for Coke all the time? Not really, but as a one-off, I mean, literally, this is the first one I've had in probably a few weeks, well, at least a few weeks, maybe a month. I really won't buy them because they're 100, 120 rubles. Man, it's crazy. $3, $2.50 Australian for a can of Coke versus buying one for $1 for like a Baikal, Chernogolovka, or Dobra Cola. So I don't miss the Coca-Cola because you can still buy it here, and I know I can go and get one if I want one. So thank you for that question. Do I have a Smart Rider card? I have got one. My wife's got one as well. We've both got one. And my wife was enrolled at the TAFE, which is the kind of technical and further education college, kind of where you're doing mostly practical skill trainings. And my wife is doing an English course. And because she was considered a student, she even got the discount for the Smart Rider card. Smart Rider is very much, if anyone's not sure, that's like the Troika card in Russia, which is your transport card for the bus and the trains. Yeah, we definitely both got one. Thanks. It brings back Perth memory. On the average house looks like, or are there apartments in your area? I've made the apartment that we're in now. If anyone's watched the videos, I guess you'll understand now. This is the apartment that I made a video of, which is where we've moved into. And then the one we moved out of is in the same building. So we went from essentially a one-room place to a two-room place. But we only wanted to move if we can move in the same building. So we kind of waited for at least a year for this place to come available, or a place in this building. So, I mean, what's considered the average house is very hard to kind of get a grasp on that because there's such a variation. I mean, anybody who's watching the chat from Russia now everybody will look at their house and go, well, this is average, or this is average. But I mean, like in Australia, the average is not the same average as well, right? So that's why I've called it typical apartment too. I mean, I consider this typical if I compare that we've lived in the same building for so many years, that it's typical to me. You know, this is a little bit bigger than we were living in before, but a 1-room, 2-room, 3-room place is, especially in apartment buildings, is fairly typical. It's just how old maybe the building is. I am trying to arrange with another real estate agent to go to see other places, but it's just hard to kind of tee up the time to go and do it. How does the best, I guess you're talking about the best cola or Dobra Cola, compared to the replacement to the real thing? Slowly. I mean, okay, this is the real Coca-Cola now, but it's the real one from Poland. Like Coca-Cola in Perth. Actually, I think there's bottled in Perth. There's a Coke factory in Perth. There is a difference. I mean, people will say that Dobra Cola is the same, or good cola. I know it's not the same. I know it's from the same factory. I'm not going to say on a video it's exactly the same because I don't want to be untruthful, because I think that there'll never be a Coca-Cola the same as Coca-Cola that's Coca-Cola, right? Because nobody's ever come up with the possibility of knowing what that syrup is. I like Chernogolovka. Chernogolovka is a brand of Russian soft drinks, and they've got one called Baikal, which is a cola. There is a cola version, but the Baikal one is cola with a hint of pine cone. So, the Dobra Cola is close. It's very close. I guess I'm being way too opinionistic and being way too Switzerland not to admit something, right? Tiamat, thank you. Yes, can't wait to see your videos from your travels. Yes, I'm talking about a big talk about making a lot of videos, and I'm going to end up having 2 videos for 2 weeks. My wife has said she'll be in the videos, so I hope she'll be okay to be in them. Particularly when we get to Bali, she'll be better in them. I don't really want to put the pressure on my family to be in the videos because I never really did blogging with them when I was in Australia. So I like football. Yes, I don't really have a team. I'll just go watch whatever match is on at whatever stadium. The same with ice hockey. So I'll happily go watch football for the love of football, and whoever wins wins, whoever loses loses. And I like watching it for that. Make a video, about the about seeing Peter. Yes, I think that's what you're asking. I think they are special at Woolies this week. Welcome home, Russell. Yeah, I talked to my mum this morning, early morning, because of the 5-hour time difference. And my mum said she's going to search out the specials because they change on Wednesdays till Thursday. They change the specials on Wednesdays. She said, get ready for them not being cheap as they used to be cheap. So thanks, Toxic. Opinion on Marmite, controversial question. Being Australian, we have Vegemite. Marmite's British. They're both kind of a spread, a paste, whatever you want to call it. I don't think even we had Marmite in our house in Australia. With my wife, we didn't. We had Vegemite. So I don't really have an opinion that, because we never had Marmite really. It's available, you can buy it. But it's more British than Australian. You're at a McDonald's having lunch. Oh, yes, I was. That's the last I was there when I made the video. That's the only time I've been, even in the last week since I made that video. I didn't go back again. I can go to one at the local shopping mall where I make a lot of my videos. Having a real Big Mac. Yes, the big heat. Literally, actually, now I think about it, the sauce isn't that different to the original sauce. And like someone told me here, a friend said to me, he said, there's no way that sauce was produced in Russia. It wasn't imported, is what they explained. And he said, there's no way that manufacturer of that sauce didn't want to not continue supplying a sauce to Kuzni Tochka. And the same with the bread guy, the same with the meat guy, the same with the lettuce guy. And it's probably a lot closer in taste than what I think it is. And I'm probably just in my head thinking it's not. Drinking my cola along with you now. Thank you. Your favorite drink. Yeah, it was my favorite drink also in Australia and here as well. But I'm just gradually, slowly going over to Russian drinks because, I'm not in favor of really paying, well, this wasn't quite double because it was on 79 ruble price. But I'm not really, I'd rather just pay 50 rubles for a cool drink than to pay 100 rubles. Did you visit Penguin Island near Perth? I've not been over there. My wife, no, it is a must visit if you like it. I like the place and the beaches there. Yes, that's kind of the area where we were staying. We were living when we were in Australia a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now nearly, we were actually living one street back from Rockingham Foreshore. So if maybe you went around the foreshore to Rockingham Beach, well, Rockingham Foreshore, where the grassed area is and all the fish and chip shops, that's where we were living, just one street back from there. So we know Penguin. If I drive that kind of little coastal road, it gets back to my parents' house very close. Igor in Russia. Hello. Здравствуйте. I'm visiting St. Petersburg shopping mall tonight on my channel. Oh, someone's going to see a mall. I think I've inspired a lot of people to go to shopping malls. Have your parents been to Russia? No, they haven't. If so, what are their impressions? No, I think my dad wouldn't want to do it. He's also a little bit cautious. My mum said to me this morning, when you come over, don't talk about Russia. Don't, let's say, not argue about Russia, but don't voice too much of your opinions about what you know more than they know. And my dad's a person that's very cautious about me saying things about Russia. So my mum would come over if get a visa and come over. She'd love it here. She'd love the food. She'd love the Rynok's, the supermarkets. She'd love just going to see some of the tourist areas in Moscow. Hello, здравствуйте. Again, I don't know your name from reading it. What's your favorite Russian food? My wife makes a very nice winter salad or Olivia salad. So I'd say that's my favorite in terms of Russian food that my wife makes. I'm trying to get her to make more Western food for me, like Australian dishes, if there's such a thing. That's the Olivia. She just makes a big bowl of it, right? And she almost makes it only for me, so I can literally, I don't even have to put it into another plate. I just scoop it out of the bowl, knowing that it's all for me. Thank you for your videos and channels all. You open the eyes of our friends all over the world that Russia is friendly and Moscow is the best city for life. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't ever want to say that Moscow is the best city in Russia, because Russia is a huge place, and Russian life as a general thing can be the same in other cities. I mean, if I never went to Moscow center again and lived in a Prelivka, I mean, I'm 50 kilometers from Moscow here, I can be still happy in this town. I mean, okay, it's not got everything, but it's got everything I need and want, and to live and be happy. So yeah, thanks, Sergey. I appreciate this. Thank you for 88 likes, by the way, or thumbs ups. I appreciate that. Thanks for people that did donation alerts. Thank you for buy me a coffees. Thank you very much. It's this donation alerts will go towards the holiday and making videos on the holiday, so it's very appreciated. Also, there is a Telegram channel if anyone does have Telegram. If you type into the search on Telegram, Traveling with Russell channel, there's the post that I do. And then if you comment on one, it goes to a Traveling with Russell chat. So if you've got Telegram, you're welcome to join that. I do post a lot more photos daily on there. If I'm out and about, I'll post photos, kind of similar to like a Facebook or something gram, the other gram that I don't use. So if you want to follow me daily, or as much as possible daily, I might even take a photo of the can of Coke in my fridge and post it. I did a photo of it out the window earlier when it was snowing, kind of crazy snowing for about an hour. And I like to just post things. And if anyone wants to follow that kind of thing, maybe you're following other things on Telegram, you can follow me there if you like. In that case, opinion on Vegemite. I never really grew up on Vegemite. A lot of people religiously have it, like rice for Asians, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's okay. I just don't love it. Vegemite sandwich in the canteen at school was a bit of a normal thing. I'm not a Vegemite on toast for breakfast kind of person. Fan ID, yeah. There's no fan ID. Well, I don't know about the football now. I've only been to ice hockey since winter. You can go to football. There is a big problem. There is a fan ID. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people upset about this fan ID system, which is kind of like an ID card you've got to register to buy tickets. So I've not been to a game since that's kind of been implemented. I know about it, but it doesn't really bother me that you've got to register for this, register for that. Everything's registration. Like even to go on the snowfield at Vorovivo Gore, you had to register online for that. I mean, it's a free event. It didn't cost anything. I guess they're just trying to control the numbers, but they obviously want your email address. They want your phone number. How is the life in Russia after the sanctions? I mean, most Russians will probably tell you, depending on the job they're in, I guess, or what effect maybe the job they have or the business they're involved in, how it affects them. Because every person's going to have a different effect on how it affects you. So the fact that Coca-Cola has gone up double is a problem if you're a Coca-Cola drinker, right? This microphone right here is from Australia, and it was imported to Russia. And I bought this before the sanctions, actually, at the going price. But if I want to buy one now, for instance, Rode is only made in Australia and imported to Russia. And however, it's got here now through either parallel imports or through, third-party companies, the price has gone up. So that affects me in terms of sanctions. It's, not necessarily the sanction on the microphone, but the avenue for transporting it to get here is a problem. So most people will tell you life is normal, right? Normal. But how you take that as an opinion or an answer, if I look out my window here and I go to my local town here, go to the train station, we were there yesterday with my wife, we had to go do something, and then I went on the bus to Moscow, she went home, everything is normal. I mean, the fact that that's now double price, that's an effect of sanctions. The fact that it's from Poland is kind of funny because obviously Poland is the neighboring country with the country starting with U, which is the country bordering Russia. So that's an effect of sanctions, but does that affect somebody? That's difficult. My friend works at the factory that produced Renault cars, which was the factory that ultimately got sold to the Russian government for 2 rubles, not 1 ruble, 2 rubles. When I went to the Moscovich dealership yesterday, I talked to the staff about this, and my friend is still employed to this day. He was actually at work today. I chatted to him today while he was at work at the factory where they produce cars, which is the existing Renault factory. The entire time when they closed, he was still getting the exact same salary. He just didn't go to work. And he didn't really like it because he didn't go to work, because he didn't want to stay home every day, but he got paid the same salary. The job he's doing now is almost exactly the same, just slight differences. But did it affect him? No. It could have affected him if he lost his job and everyone got put out of work and he stuck paying bills without a job, because his job is quite a specialist job that would struggle to find another job similar. So that's a long answer. I'm sorry, Joseph, but I hope it's okay, and I hope other people understand that. I'm curious how I'm going to answer this exact question when I get to Australia, because I think I'll get asked it a lot. Am I learning Russian? A little bit. Chut-chut. Malenki. Thank you for your videos and channel. You open the eyes of Russians. And Moscow is the best city. Sergey, I think I've read that twice, but I'll read it again. Going to the Carnival Mardi Gras. Excited, but they are cutting the food choices and availability. Inflation, I gather. I'm not sure. I've got a friend who's on the Celebration right now, which is a sister ship to Mardi Gras. So he loves it because he loves ships. As long as Guy Burgers are still there. I think Shaq's Big Chicken is there. We're talking about a cruise ship, by the way. If anyone doesn't know, Carnival Mardi Gras is a particular ship that sails in the Caribbean. And Shaq is Shaquille O'Neal, the basketballer. He's kind of franchised out his name to make a chicken takeaway on the cruise ship. So I look forward to your Australia videos. Thank you. I think that's Maxime. How is life in Moscow? Am I reading the same things here? Am I going? What do you think about how much food Russians put on the table for New Year? Buckets of salad, yes. Holodiets, yes. It's crazy why Infinite, Roblox. It's insane how much food. And no matter how much you tell people to put less, it's like they're putting more. Not just New Year. Okay, Christmas, New Year, the whole period there. Easter, if you go around for somebody's birthday, somebody's anniversary of something. It's crazy. Yes, I agree 1,000%. My mum's parents or my grandparents were Polish. And when I was young or when I was growing up, that was very much a Polish thing as well. My grandma would cook from morning time to have dinner in the evening. It was like an all-day event. So yes. Nobody has Telegram here, right? Yeah, no one has Facebook either, right? Because of the need for VPNs, Alexei. You thought you were blocked? No. Australian man gets trapped on a Russian escalator. Yeah, more like in an elevator. I always worry about the elevator in our apartment building. Somebody said, oh, you can call them. They'll come in half an hour. But I just don't know if they ever will, or whoever comes if we get stuck in our elevator. Oh, What? Hello from Vnukovo. Russell, for training in English. Thank you. I guess you're listening to me, and thank you, Vlad. Mr. Vad. I'm going to say Vlad. Vnukova's up the road from me, and tomorrow we're flying out of Shevromentova. Because of, I don't know what happened. Qatar Airways used to fly out of Domodedovo. Now they're out of Shevromentova. I wonder what happened with the change from that. Obviously, Vnukova, they don't have the Middle Eastern flights go from there, but watching stuff, great content. I guess you're talking about Sam. Is that Sam's Russian Adventure? Oh, Sam, I didn't even see your name there. Yes, Sam's Russian Adventure. Yeah. Oh, look at that. You've got a follower there in Fortuna. If anyone doesn't know. So if anyone didn't notice that, we Sam and I both put our Kuzni Itochka Big Mac video or former Big Mac video on the channels at the same time, and we explained to see each other's video to compare it. So, and I like how he went to the drive-through at the end of his video and then put the song on there. Mac is back. I don't know what the song was, but thank you, Sam, for. I couldn't find your other channel, Russell, in Russia. I couldn't find your other channel, Russell, in Russia. Get you put the link. I can, but I don't know how. I can't do it right now, but I don't know. I'll post it in the pinned comments of this video afterwards. So if anyone wants to comment on the video after it ends, you can find it from the pinned comments. Escalators are boring. Secondhand shop, cinemas, theaters, movie. Oh, okay. That's a lot of things. Sorry that escalators are boring. It got a lot of views, and it's my #1 video in the last 10 on the channel. So there's something. I think the one thing that triggered the popularity of it, of course, everyone loves me. No, not that. Is because it's a shorter video. I want to go to. Actually, my wife told me I made a mistake today. I should have gone to the flower market, to Riga flower market today because of Women's Day tomorrow, and made a video at the flower market, but I didn't go. Do I miss hot Australian weather? No, not at all. It's once it gets over 30, it's too hot. Going back there now and seeing 28, 28, 28, 28 every day, that's a nice temperature. I don't like 38. I'm okay with it, but I just don't. It's not enjoyable when it's 38 degrees, especially you got to work or drive somewhere, be outside. Yes, Alexei, I have heard about them. I do chat to not Russia guy. It's the other guy that's not the Russia guy. I chat to him on Telegram. The Russia guy and his wife, who's got the channel I've not chatted to before. I have sent him a message on Instagram, but he's never replied. So, yes, I know about them. They're also from Perth as well, but they're from the south, the southern part of WA, because they were farming down there. So I do know of them. What have I discovered in Russia? What surprised you the most? The thing is, right, a lot of people in Russia aren't bothered about things. You know, in Australia, like whatever the news is the news, and that's what you talk about. You know, whatever the events are at the moment, that's what you talk about. Whereas here, people just don't talk about them. You know, I mean, in Australia, every guy in Australia knows about every sporting event happening at the moment, no matter what sport it is, right? So you could say, oh, what do you think about the golf on the weekend? And you can have a conversation about a guy that knows about golf, and you're like, that's normal because every guy knows about every sport, football, golf, tennis, whatever sport. I mean, not everybody, but generally. Whereas here, you can meet any guy and say, what's your football team? Oh, I don't support football. I don't watch football. I don't have a team. But in Australia, every guy is a football sport mad kind of country. You know, so I just found that hard that, you know, I mean, an easy icebreaker for, like in Australia when I was with my wife, we'd go to barbecues and friends' houses and lunches, dinners, and always be kind of like the Aussie guys with their Russian wives. All the Russian girls would get together, chit chat, and all the guys would get together and over a beer, right? Go out in the back garden or at the shed out the back. And if you don't have anything to talk about, you just talk about sport. Easy peasy, or talk about, things like cars and sport and things like that. So yeah, that's one thing that the average person here, if you ask them about a political event or someone that who you can talk to about it, they don't know what's going on because they either don't read the news, they don't watch the TV, they don't listen to this or that, don't listen to the radio. And it doesn't bother them. My wife's the same, right? I mean, since we've moved here now and she's got her job, her business in the apartment downstairs, she doesn't go to Moscow as much. So for me to get her to Ashan last week was like dragging her away from, the town where we live. So yeah, just like that. I mean, there's potholes in the road after winter, and, the roads are shocking. The paths are shocking. You know what I mean? Not every path is cleared of snow like right now, right? Not every road is cleared, but you can be upset about it, or you can just not worry about it and just get on with it. Puddle, especially now when it's warmed up to like 0 degrees the last couple of days, things start melting. It gets slushy and mucky, but in Australia, people will be complaining about that. Here, no worries. Hope that answers the question. Sorry, it's a long answer, but I bought a cola at Food City, 49 rubles if you take a package. Yes. So yeah, that's the video that I made, Mr. Vlad. If you've seen that video, that was at Food City. It's quite easy for me to get to, right? So I just go to Solaris, and then there's actually a free bus from Solaris to Food City and back. I really like walking around Food City, even if my wife gets mad because I come home and she's like, "Did you not bring anything? You didn't buy any vegetables? You didn't buy a 5-kilo carrier bag or something?" I'm like, "No, I just bought like you've got there, a 50 ruble Coca-Cola and came home." What surprised me there were so many types. Do you watch NASCAR and IndyCar? I do. On the weekend, I watched a little bit of it. I don't know where it was from this weekend. It was the Daytona was last weekend, right? IndyCar I watched. I don't think I've really watched it this year, but NASCAR I've watched. And then we had the Bathurst 1000 quite a few weeks ago in Australia. I watched one website where it's got every sport live with the normal channels. I watched the golf over the weekend. Do you call it Russian dressing? Just dressing like the French call it French fries. Yeah, that's interesting. I was trying to look for that in the store the last couple of days, like Russian tea. So there's actually one called Russian Caravan at the supermarket in Australia. Yeah, it's just dressing, like Chinese food when you go to China. Oh, you started following Sam after my suggestion. Thanks. Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know Sam's Russian Adventure, you need to post more in the comments. He's got a nice channel. He's a guy from England. We are going to meet up. I promise. Now, when I get back from Australia, I'm going to come to Vladimir and I'm going to be on his channel. He's going to be on my channel. And we're going to figure out how to make videos together. Toxic, I know of her channel. I get a bit bothered by her channel because she's just doing that Russia under sanctions title on every video. And she's doing that empty shelves thumbnail on every video. And I just get a little bit tired of seeing the same on her channel. I'm sorry to call her out, but Spellbinder, which I liked a lot. Is it true a lot of Polish immigrants live in Australia? Yes. Yeah. Probably more so, a lot more Yugoslavian and Italian. I don't know about a lot of Polish or Poles. We call them Poles in Australia, the Polish. But particularly a lot of Italians and Yugoslavians. Probably more now, a lot more Asians coming and a lot more Middle Eastern in the last lot of years. But a lot of the Italians, the Poles, the Yugoslavs came back in the 70s and 80s. So yes, definitely plenty. It's your channel and welcome to a new video in Moscow. Today we're going to take a walk in Nikolskaya Street. That's one of the old videos on the channel. That's one of the first ones I did. I had this idea of doing a walk, like a walking channel, where I'd walk on streets and walk and talk. But obviously, I don't know all the history. So doing the Kulskaya Street or Arbat Street's kind of easy, but some of the others, I wouldn't know what to say. Theme for new lead videos at your channel. Yeah, I've kind of done that where I've asked people what to do, and people really want me to go like, can you go to Vorkuta and make a video there? Can you go to Vladivostok and make a video? Well, it's not as easy just to go and do that, right? So can you get cherry Coke or cherry Pepsi? We don't have it here. I'm pretty sure at Food City you can get everything, Sam, everything. Where did I see? Oh, at Globus. If there's a Globus in Vladimir, by the way, Sam's in Vladimir. Vladimir. I always say it very wrong. But I'm sure if you've got a Globus hypermarket there, they've got cherry Coke. I don't know about cherry Pepsi, but what do you do there? I make YouTube videos. So I live off the YouTube, making YouTube videos. I live off my wife, really. So where people do donation alerts, do super chats, where people do super thanks, buy me a coffee. It all goes into the channel. Pretty much the money from the channel is basically used to make more videos. So the donation alerts, for instance, will pay for my bus or metro or lunch when I go out for lunch. Typically, I'll go out to make a video and I'll have lunch. And that's my day out. I don't really need money more than that. Most people, I'm not sure where you're from, Ellen Bagan-Sagabakar, maybe not from Russia, I would imagine, with the long name. But a lot of people here don't want everything. I mean, in Australia, I think there's a lot, people want and need and like and want more things. Better things, bigger things, new things. Whereas a lot more people in Russia kind of live happily on a line, you know, where if you didn't have Coke, it didn't bother you, you know. If you didn't have, you know, I don't know what else. Like I hear, right, I buy Globus batteries because that's all I need for my mouse, for my little temperature gauge here. I don't need Duracell, right? And I'm happy. My wife is always curious with me. Why are you always happy, Russell? Why are you always smiling? Why are you happy about why are you happy about everything? I mean, when you watch the Moscovich video, when I bring it out, I'm happy to go see a car in a car dealership. I didn't want to go buy a car. I just want to go see it because it's nostalgia to go see this Moscovich that was famous in Russia back in the 90s, 80s, 70s, and it's now in a dealership in Moscow. And that makes me happy. So, and if to get there, I've just got to catch the metro, go and have lunch, metro home, you know, and that's it. Can I have a Kinder Egg from Sam, please? You've got to meet him. You've got to be in his video, and you've got to answer whatever question he might ask around his Kinder Surprise videos. Indy cars, you've missed flying cars. Yes, I've not seen those yet. George Jetson. Do you listen to Russian music? I don't, not at all. I've never discovered any music. I've never listened to any music. We don't have a car here, so that would be the only place I'd really listen to it on the radio. Oh, someone asked earlier, and you're mentioning it again here. Thank you. What are you doing for your wife tomorrow? So we're going on a plane to Bali tomorrow, or tomorrow night we are. And then we're going to Australia on Saturday morning. So that's kind of the Women's Day gift. I have also bought her chocolates. I didn't buy her flowers, but I bought her chocolates yesterday. And she thought it was a bit sneaky on me because I bought chocolates that I like, not just the ones she likes. So yes, I didn't want to get flowers because obviously we're going to go on the plane tomorrow for a month, and it won't make sense to have flowers for one day. So yes, we're going to Bali. Well, Bali for a day and a half, and then Australia. So that's really the kind of trip. And I've said that to Jen before we kind of planned everything about doing this. that it's kind of a bit of a combined gift. Are you really leaving Russia? We're leaving just temporarily. Temporarily. But we are leaving Russia to go to Australia to come back. So, have you been at the sports events here? My favorite for Spartak Moscow. There is a great stadium, an in-stadium museum tour. Maybe it'd be interesting for you to make a video. I've not done any of the stadium tours, but I'm happy to go to any game and sport. I don't know which one is Spartak. Spartak's the red team, isn't it? Red team. I went to the ice hockey at the stadium. Oh my gosh, near Petrovsky Park. See, that must be CSKA. Was that stadium? I think no, that's CSKA is the one at Veden. Oh my gosh, Mr. Vlad, I do like going to sport. I like going to any sport. I don't like to sort of support teams for the sake of it if I don't really have that passion for them. So, Chicago has a big Polish community as well. Yeah, and we're taking, funny enough, although we shouldn't be, we're taking some salamis back to Australia because my mum is big on the Polish sausages and Polish salamis. So we're taking a couple in the luggage. They're vacuum sealed. They're perfectly safe. Could you name your top 3 supermarkets, Alexei? I like Globus because it's the one that we go to a lot because it's convenient. It's not in the town where we live. The Lenta that we have here is very bad organized, always got the wrong prices. It's not stocked properly, and it bothers me so much, that Lenta where we live. It's at the train station. I would say Globus because it's convenient, it's easy, it's got everything. I know it's not Russian, it's German. I really like Perikostok because I just like it. The one at Yugosapina, I was there yesterday at Yugosapina station because I was going to the Moscovich place down the road from there. And we always used to go to that one before the metro got extended. And then I like Spar. There's a Spar supermarket, the one at, oh my gosh, I don't know where it is. It's near Food City, whatever that area is. Although Spar, again, is not Russian really, but foods, I can't really name a top 3 for foods because I just buy normal things, bread and, so yeah, I'd say the Globus is number 1, purely just because the overall store, it's got the cafe, it's got the prepared food, it's got the fresh bread if you want it. Your take that however you like. Selgros store is selling cola from Poland. Is Selgros in Moscow? I don't know if I keep wanting to find new supermarkets beyond the ones that I've done a lot of videos in. Yeah, this is definitely the Polish one because my wife read the label for me because we were kind of curious about the language on the side. And I thought it was Turkish for a minute, but turns out it's Polish. Thank you for saying the word Coca-Cola. What are the rents in Moscow? Like a small apartment near Moscow, and what is included in them? Dreamy. It's kind of hard to kind of put a general average on the apartments. If you kind of watch the 3 videos on the channel of the 3 different apartments, the 2 that are in this building, the one we're in and the one that we used to be in, and then the one that my wife bought a few years back that we now just remodeled recently, the kitchen. You can get an idea. We're in Moscow region here. The other one is, I think that's still considered Moscow region in Vidno. So, I mean, this place, well, the place we were in before was about $500 or $600 $500 a month. Compared to other countries, the price is cheaper here. But comparing it against the average salary, it's hard to kind of get a yardstick of that. I mean, the place we rent to the guy where my wife's bought this apartment a few years ago. Well, was it 2 years ago now? When did I make that first video? A year and a half? That's renting for 20,000 rubles a month. It's a 1-room place. It's called a studio. you know, I mean, actually, I like the area where it's in because there's a nice supermarket there. There's a tiny shopping center. It's more convenient for buses than I've got here. Convenient for buses. It's a working area with apartments around it, schools around it. The cost of rent is just impossible to kind of say because the closer you are to the Moscow center, it goes up, and the closer you are to a metro station, the price goes up. That's why we're happy here. Watching from Mogadishu. Oh, still. I thought it was an undisclosed location. Now you tell me you're downtown. Yesterday was Casimir Pulowski Day in Illinois. Cavalry officer who helped in the American Revolution. Oh. Is that celebrated across all of America or just in Chicago, I wonder, or Illinois? Sorry. Thank you, Russell, for your reply. You're welcome. It's a bit expensive to go to Australia to change a light bulb. That would make a good title for a video. Thank you. Yes. That's the only reason I'm going is to change that light bulb because it'll be cheaper than paying an electrician to do it. So unbelievable. Yes. I've got to send that lady a message who's the tenant. I've got her on WhatsApp to message her. I'm officially meant to email the property manager who's meant to contact her for her to contact me. But we just figured out that if I just send her a WhatsApp message about this light bulb, her partner, I guess her boyfriend or partner that lives with her can replace it for me. I just have to get one to give to her. At the end of the day, this is going to cost me $20 or less. But it's the $120 on top. It's about $60 an hour for an electrician to come, 2-hour minimum. And people said that's still cheap. Some people charge a 4-hour minimum to go to do work somewhere. So, yeah. You're going to visit Albert Park Formula One? No, that's in Melbourne. I'm in Perth. Race is on April 2nd. We'll be definitely in Bali on that April 2 weekend. So I'll see if I can catch it on TV. Yeah, I watched the one just now from, was it Jeddah? Where was the one just now? Jeddah? The one under lights. It was very nice to watch. And the Australian guy, Piastri, he had to retire. And Daniel Ricciardo's from Perth as well, by the way, if anyone doesn't know that. Red and white, Petrovsky Park is Dinamo Stadium. Yes, that's where I went to watch the ice hockey about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I posted photos on my Telegram channel when I was there. It was a very nice day. I like that stadium a lot, and I didn't realize there's actually a food court underneath a shopping center inside underneath of the stadium, and I need to go check that out when I get back. You better declare your meat because Australia's frontline border protection. Yeah, I'll be on one of the episodes. Yes, is it Border Patrol? It's vacuum sealed, so it's not open, and so seen so many episodes of it. Yes. Good morning or good evening. Is that Raspati? As much as linebacker or rugby player. No, I'm about 105 kilos. I'm about 9 or 10 too many. And that's because of this, really. I'll be curious because in Bali, particularly, I'll be drinking a lot more water or like a lemon water than I will be sodas because it's just much more humid there that you're always thirsty because you're always kind of sweating. So I'll be curious if I lose some weight. What Russian football players, hockey players, and athletes do I know? I don't really know any. I couldn't even name anybody right now. Honestly and truly, I couldn't name a single Russian athlete. Sorry. With Islamists, make sure you declare them at customs if you don't, and they fine them $2,600 for not declaring a meat product. Interesting. We've took them before, by the way, and I've took cheeses, and I've never touch wood. I can touch some wood and make a noise. I've never had any issues with bringing anything into Australia. I'm much more cautious than the average person who's not as cautious, put it that way. You can get there from the Solaris by bus to Selgros. It's near Vnukovo. Solnjevo Park. I need to look that place up. Give me to recycling. On the Coca-Cola can, is it written in Polish? It is. Well, there's the white sticker right over all of the Polish, I think. And can you see there? That where my nail is. Sorry for my nail. And then that's the Russian sticker that talks about the ingredients. Spartak's the best team in Russia. Yeah, I always ask guys about what their team is, and they never are interested in talking about it. It's kind of interesting. Oh, just in Illinois because the Polish-American politicians voted it in. Calgary, yes, it is red and white flavor. Calgary or Cagliari. Yes, red and white forever. Oh, okay. You're saying that you're red and white forever. Yeah, that's the thing. Like with Australian teams, where we are patriotic in terms of our team, or we are very, we do support our team. In Perth, we're probably not as live or die by our team as maybe some people over in Melbourne are, Sydney, Adelaide. Bahrain, Jeddah is. Oh, Bahrain was the Grand Prix. Now Jeddah is the next one. And I guess Melbourne's the one after. Beginning to now. Oh, it looks worse today because I had my hair cut today in preparation for going to Australia. And I was planning to do on the full day in Bali. I was going to go to a barber shop and get a proper. What's the death blade where the guy's got the straight razor. I want to do a razor shave in Bali. There's a nice place close to the hotel where we're going to stay that can do one of them. I was losing my hair probably 20 years ago. I'm beginning to now, and I'm 45. Yeah, I'm about the same as you. I'm 76 birth year, so probably quite a lot of years I was losing my hair. My dad's got the same hairline, but my mum has the same straight hair as I have, so I kind of got a bit of a 50-50 hair. So yeah, I went to the barber is in the same, or the hairdresser is not a barber, the guy is in the same place where my wife's salon is. So I went there today for a quick haircut ahead of going tomorrow. So, oh, there you go. It's Polish Coke. I saw Warsaw. Yes, I showed it to my wife for her just to read the label. So, when will we be back in Russia? We'll be back on I think it's the 7th of April. I believe it's the 7th. It might be the 8th or the 9th, but one of those 3 days at least. I know we've got to be back in Bali for the 4th because we're going to go to a small island and stay at a small island. And that's really where we're going to on the holiday in Bali. We're not going to be on the main Bali island for the whole trip. So yeah. So thank you. 129 thumbs up. Thank you. I don't know anything. I'm going to end the poll on the I. So the thing is, if I make the I Left Russia video, these are the ones that a lot of people have made who are YouTubers about that they left Russia, and they make a bit of a dramatic video about, going through the airport. Will they check my phone? Will they go through my passport? Will they check my Telegram chats? And they make it out to be that it's a lot more difficult to leave the country than it really is. And they make that kind of dramatic, let's say, run across the border video. And I kind of wanted to do that purely for views, but I don't want to do it to sort of scare you guys who are the subscribers, who are the watchers of the channel, who are part of the community of the channel. So I didn't want to do that for that reason, if that makes sense. So I guess people want the 257 votes. So that's still just about half of the votes. And I guess where you're going is probably people who didn't know either thing was happening. So I've only mentioned it on these two live streams, the last one and this one. I've mentioned it in the Telegram group, I think. So yeah, it's yes, it's very nice. What are we at? Do you guys want to chat a little bit longer? I think the chat slowed down a little bit. You want to chat a little bit longer? We can go another either 4 minutes or 14 minutes, I think. Is that the difference? I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to minimize that one. I can't do that. And have a question for me. I don't know how to do the Q&A thing. Does anyone know how to do the Q&A thing? I don't even know what that means. Now, have you got a question? It just says there, go to channel or end Q&A. So that's very strange what that is. Are you saying you can change your country, you can change your wife, but you can't change your team? Yeah, I mean, actually, the funny thing is people have noticed this, right? That I wear the 2 different football team shirts from the 2 different teams in Perth, the Fremantle Dockers and the West Coast Eagles, because I like to wear the shirts that support the teams in Australia. This one actually is for BMX riding. This is kind of like the governing body of BMX. My sister's son was riding and I was volunteering at the club. And I was kind of quite involved with the volunteering side of the club when he was riding. And actually, I was still volunteering when he wasn't riding because I wanted the club to kind of continue on. And it needs volunteers for that kind of club to kind of keep going. So it's true, Vlad. Can your wife traveling till D-Day land? Is that about going to Australia, Johnny, I think? Yeah, she has an Australian residency, by the way. She has a Russian passport, but she has Australian residency. She has a visa to live in Australia, to enter and exit Australia as many times as she likes, work in Australia. But obviously we're not at the moment. But yes, happily we can just get on the plane, fly there, fly back. I have residency for Russia as part of my visa for Russia, so I can do that in reverse. Yes, I don't know how tall I am. I don't think I'm 190, a couple of centimeters less than that, I think. 5 feet something. Yeah. I have a sister. Yes, I've got a sister who's got 3 sons. Actually, Saturday afternoon, we're having my parents. I'm going to stay with my parents, right? And they're coming over, my sister, husband, and hopefully all 3 sons are going to come over as well on Saturday. So yes. Yeah, I'll post photos on the Telegram channel. I'll keep saying it over and over. So if you're part of the channel or the chat, I'll post there 100% photos. They probably won't want to be on video. I'm almost certain my sister won't, but you never know. She might be. I haven't driven a Russian car. I really should have asked them yesterday when I was at the dealership about going for a test drive. I'm going to have to go back. And the girl there was super nice. The other guys didn't really speak any English, but the one girl was super nice. She would make you want to buy a car if you didn't take your wife with you. Put it that way. Questions and answers, yes. So I don't know how that works. Can anybody see that in the chat box, the pinned comment about Q&A? Yes, so she can definitely travel to Australia. Do I watch Earl Grey? I know of him because I have a YouTubers group that I set up. We've got now 45 people in it. So they are basically what I call English-speaking, what is it called? Russian, English-speaking YouTubers in Russia. I forgot what the channel's called. But it's basically people who create English content in Russia on YouTube channels. And he's part of it. I only chatted to him very briefly. Just on Messenger. I've never met him in person, so and I've watched a couple of his videos. Are there any analogs in Russian cuisine? Not really, no. There's no real Australian dishes and Australian cuisine. I guess barbecues, which would be kind of like having shashlik, particularly at the dacha. We don't tend to have that open flame coals barbecue where you put them on skewers. We have kind of a hot plate over a fire, and then we put kind of sausages, steak, hamburgers on there. There's no Australian dish to compare Australian dishes. So there's no analogs in Russian cuisine. My wife kind of we can do like roast beef, like a piece of beef that we'd roast in the oven, but it's not quite the same. We can't get them the same no matter what we try. So what about motorbikes or electric bikes? I'm waiting for summertime because somebody asked me about going riding electric scooters. Obviously, they're not out in winter here, so shirts you need to get is the one with Oscar Piastri. Yeah, well, Daniel Ricciardo is now with Red Bull, and he's from Perth. I don't know where Piastri's from. And there's kind of a bit of a news story there that, McLaren kind of had a dismal weekend with both cars not finishing the race after Ricciardo left, and Red Bull took him on as a reserve driver, but also because of his social media presence and his people presence, that he can just basically be there for his presence in the Red Bull team. So it would be easy for you to go around on two tires. Yeah, not in winter here, not at all. I would dread to. You rarely see motorbikes on the road in Russia. I mean, rarely in Moscow anyway. I don't know about other areas, but it would be incredibly dangerous for motorbike riders. You see them sometimes in Moscow center, like on the Garden Ring. But yeah, it's dangerous enough in a car in Russia, let alone being on a motorbike. Scooters, especially in Moscow and Moscow center, they're very common in summer. They're everywhere. Yeah, but I've never rented one until this coming summer. I'll give it a try. So yeah, thank you everybody so far for watching live. I did kind of schedule it a little bit earlier. Would anyone like me to do a live stream from Bali or Australia? I don't know if guess we can set one up easily in Australia. I've got the little mini tripod I could set up. Might be a bit hard to read the chat though. I don't know how I'd figure that out. There is a grill everywhere in every Australian city. Yes. So wherever you're hungry, you can bring your meat and grill in it. Yes, in most parks we have barbecues. Yes, like a hot plate barbecue. A lot of them typically are gas. So you just either press a button. Some of them were coin operated. But the ones where I was living by the beach there, they were just a press button for a gas flame that heats up the hot plate. There is some wood open flame barbecues, but they're just dangerous in summer. That they have a lot of fire bans, so they don't tend to have open flame barbecues because they're just too dangerous. But yes, in all major parks, national parks, they've got barbecues around. So I was a hard Red Bull supporter. Happy Danny Honey Badger is back within the team. I don't know who this Danny Honey Badger. There's a rugby player whose nickname is the Honey Badger in Australian rugby. I don't know his first name though. Soccer or soccer for you naturally? Yeah, I say football because I've been outside of the country so long. And soccer obviously is the football in Australia. Soccer is the football also in America as well. But football is the name that covers soccer, football, Australian rules football, rugby league, rugby union. So it kind of covers a lot of football sports. Australia is cool. Thank you. I guess we've got the same birth year because you've got 76 after your name. So, yes. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to slowly wind up. I don't understand this is interesting. What does it say? Is that not popped up? Oh, there it. Oh, the chat's a second behind over here. I don't understand about Complaints about driving in Russia. Has anyone ever driven in New York who complains? Yeah, this is true, right? I mean, the one thing that you notice here, right, is although there's a lot of people are impatient and they're tooting their horn every, especially at on the roads, it doesn't bother them that someone cuts you off to overtake or overtake on the long lane, or they don't get in the lane to turn. They come right the way around to the lights and then just cut in. And in other countries, in Australia and America, people will be going nuts. Whereas here, it's like, okay, jump in next. And there's a lot more courtesy amongst Russian drivers. There's, where, like, for instance, when you go on Kiev Highway here towards the Makad, and then there's kind of a lane that you turn off on to go to the Makad, which is the main ring road in Moscow. And to go on that, you've got to kind of be way back down the highway to turn on that lane, but people just go on the second lane and they turn in the last second. And, that would just bother me no end, right, in Australia. But here it's like, oh, okay, no worries. And then you as a driver might want to do that. And then you look like the bad person, but the next person behind's like, okay, let him in. And there is a kind of a love for that, which is not a love for it, but there's, an understanding, I think. I mean, there is accidents on the highways here. Every day of the week there's accidents, and there's serious accidents as well because people are driving at speed here. And we were in a car accident last summer. We were very fortunate. My wife got a small leg injury. The driver, our friend, and I, we both walked out the car. We kind of thank Audi for that, by the way, because it was an Audi car. Yeah, have a good trip. Do you speak Russian well? No, I don't speak Russian well. I even today, downstairs from our when we come out of the building to the street, there's a couple of benches, and I just noticed the last week or so there's 3 older ladies, really babushkas, who sit on this bench just having their afternoon chat every day. And in summertime, every day of the week they're there. And then I just noticed them the last few days coming out now. And when I said hello to them today, and I'm like, oh, здравствуйте, очень приятно. And they said hello to me. And then the other lady just started talking Russian to me. And I'm like, I don't understand. Нет поняла, нет поняла. And she kept talking and talking. And then I said, oh, because it was like sunny at the time. I'm like, oh, solnышко. I'm like, yeah. Because now it's like Maslenitsa is the end of the winter. But still, like today, we had a bit of snow in the craziness. Today was like sunny, cloudy, snowing. We had every weather pattern today. Thank you, Irina. Have a good trip. Yes, thank you. I think a few people are slowly heading off. It's late now here in Moscow, so yeah, we kind of got all day tomorrow. Then the flight's like 11 p.m. It says you've got to be there 3 hours before for check-in. We don't want to be really there 3 hours before, but that's kind of just in case. Now they check documents, they might check passports, they might check, I don't know what color underwear I'm wearing. So Texas, hello. Where am I? I'm in Moscow. I'm in Moscow region, which is the area outside of the Moscow area, I guess. Oh, Honey Badger is Daniel Ricciardo's nickname. I never knew that, because the rugby player that's also nicknamed the Honey Badger is also from Perth. And I don't know his full real name, but he was a rugby union player called the Honey Badger as well. I think it's Nick, or Nick is his first name. Nick Honey Badger something. I didn't know that about Daniel Ricciardo. Oh, Danny Honey Badger is back within the team. Right. Yeah. Now I read your previous comment. Taxi in New York. Yeah. Oh, he has an image of a honey badger on the back of his helmet. I didn't know that. I didn't honestly know that at all. This has worked out perfect. It's exactly the amount to drink during the stream. That's exactly perfect. Champions League is starting. Will you be watching? I'll try and when I can watch a match, I'll watch a match. not everything I go out my way to make sure I can watch what time it's on. So especially like here with Russia, with the time difference with Europe, with Australia, with it being plus times. Yeah, if it's on TV at the time when I'm watching, I watch it on my computer. So I watch it live streaming with VPN to whatever English. Okay, a lot of where there's English teams involved, it's like the British TV channels. Yeah, the Daniel Ricciardo does the shoey. Yes, that's the very famous thing that he kind of. I think somebody probably before him started it, but he made it famous that he poured his beer or champagne into his driver's shoe and drinks the drink out of your shoe called a shoey. I think he might have almost copyrighted that term. I'm not sure if there was anybody before him that did it. I want to speak well. Yeah, that's the difficult thing. Speaking English well. My wife gets frustrated by me correcting her all the time because I'm not teaching her. I'm just correcting her. But if a teacher was correcting her, she wouldn't question it. But if I do it, then she gets mad with me especially where she just gets the sentence mixed. So she says a word in the wrong order of the sentence, like the grammar is backwards. Because that's just thinking of the word literally when you're thinking of it versus knowing how to say it. I'm from Russia, Moscow, but I'm living in Bulgaria. Oh, здравствуйте. Yes. Yeah, so we've got the windows open here the last couple of days because the weather's got a bit warmer. Warm weather is still 0 or minus. Now it says -6 on the internet weather here outside. I know tonight was meant to be colder than the next few nights. But I could just hear an aeroplane go by. Yeah, I'm fairly close to Vnukovo Airport. How long have I been living in Russia? I've been here for 9 years. Originally, I guess it's nearly 10 years now since the first trip. I'll have to figure that out now when we first. I'm pretty sure it was 11 years ago we met. So it would have to have been within a year of when we first met my wife, before we got married, of course. So it's probably closer to 10 years than 9 years now when I first came here the first time. So, yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. I hope the few of you who are still here enjoyed watching live. Thank you so much for whoever did donation alerts. It's super nice of you to do that. Whoever did the buy me a coffees, thank you so much. Literally, in terms of watching videos, is more than enough for the channel. Sorry, I'm going to look up there now, not at the chat. Watching videos is more than enough. Commenting, replying to other people's comments. I can't possibly answer every comment on every video now. I tend to be there the first hour or two of a video going on the channel. And then I might spend half an hour per day going through the comments that have kind of ticked into the every video, right? So it's impossible. I'm sorry if I don't manage to reply to every post on every video. What's the temperature? I guess if you want to know the temperature, I'm going to put it on my phone because that's more accurate. Well, it says fog, which I don't believe fog for a Prolivka. Oh, is that going to show up or not? No. Oh, like that. So it's -7. Oh, that's better. Look at that. I guess it's backwards though. -7 feels like -7. And it's meant to get down to -10 today. Well, overnight, I guess. And tomorrow is +1, -4 overnight. Wow, Friday, -4, -16 on Friday. I guess we missed that. And then what's Bali for? Do I even have Bali? I do have Denpasar. Yes. There we go. That's how unchanged the weather is in Indonesia. 31 every day and 24 every night. That's the weather we're expecting. 31-25, 31-24 for the whole week. But we're there for 2 days. So thank you. Safe travels. Yeah. So please, if you anybody, Patricia Bootheroyd, my auntie. Come on. Marlene, thank you. Safe travels. Thank you so much. Irina, thank you. The God. Nice name for your channel. Yeah, thank you for the safe travels, everybody. Yeah, tomorrow night. Basically Doha first and then Doha Denpasar. So essentially, because it's probably plus 5 hours, right? Because Bali's the same time as Perth. We lose 5 hours in the time difference. We get there late Thursday evening. So we got all day Friday in Bali, and then Saturday early morning we fly to Perth. So enjoy. Thank you. -10 in Plestiek region. Yeah, I guess it didn't feel cold today when I went out. That's kind of the nice thing when it snows, right? When it has that nice snow, it's kind of gets to about 0, -1, -2. No wind. That's the perfect that you want. If it's a perfect weather for winter. Do you know something about Ryask Memorial of the Soviet soldiers, about 200 kilometers from Moscow? No, there's a lot of memorials around Moscow region. I don't know that particular one at all. I'm sorry. Now, we even have a couple of different ones in Aprelivka here, mostly from the Great Patriotic War. They've got a lot of remembrance of that. I would imagine some people from this region were involved in that event, that war. I guess you can say that for that event, if that makes sense. Yakutsk. I've not been to Yakutsk. I've really not been much outside of Moscow region. I've been to Ufa, which is where my wife is from. And that's as far as we've really traveled. So, yes. All right. I'm out of here, everybody. I know I've said it. If anyone would like to comment on this video after it ends, I will post for whoever asked me about my Russell in Russia channel, which I kind of doing as a bit of a pet thing where I'm doing extra videos over there, but it's not really growing so fast. Russell in Russia. That should have been really the name of the channel here, but the Traveling with Russell name came about because it's more general and it's more just general, right? So, I'll post that as a pinned comment, or I'll post it in the comments anyway. So I'll see everybody. So I'm going to I think I'll put the Moscovich video next on the channel. So that'll either be tomorrow or the next day. I'll sort of try and get it ready before we go to the airport, so it'll be there as a scheduled video. So if you want to see my absolute lack of car knowledge on a car video, that will be one of the next videos on the channel. Or there's the fishing expo walk around video, or the train video is about 2 hours to edit down. I want to get it to under 40 or 50 minutes if I can. YouTube is not banned in Russia. Please convey my congratulations on the upcoming March 8 to all our women. Yes, happy Women's Day for tomorrow. It's a big deal in Russia. International Women's Day, or Women's Day in Russia. It's a public holiday in Russia too, by the way. And then technically, if you're not from Russia, today everybody finished work an hour earlier. I guess probably mostly people in government businesses or jobs. I don't know, but it was in the news the last 2 days that businesses were meant to close an hour earlier today. I don't know if they did or not. Probably they didn't. But it's a short working week, or at least a broken up working week, where tomorrow is a national holiday in Russia. And the flower shops and the chocolate shops are probably doing crazy business. I reckon there's guys even out there shopping now, I think, last minute buying things. Yes, tomorrow. So happy International Women's Day, all the ladies watching. I know that there's a percentage of ladies that watch the channel. So thank you. I hope you like. I mean, for me, my wife and I, I bought her chocolates. Okay, we're going on the trip tomorrow, so it's hard to buy more things than just chocolates. But I also tidied up the kitchen and vacuumed today, but she maybe didn't notice that. So yeah, and I brought out the suitcases so she can prepare her bags. And I've got my laptop bag here. You can't see it; it's just down here to put my cables and things in my bag tomorrow as well. Yeah, YouTube is fully working in Russia. The good news about YouTube in Russia is there's no adverts when you watch a YouTube video as inside Russia. If you've got a YouTube, for instance, like you're watching my videos, right? There's no ads running on any YouTube video that you watch while you're in Russia. So you kind of get YouTube Premium for free, if that makes sense, because they're not showing ads to Russian viewers. I think that all makes sense. All right. I've got to do that countdown to leave. Yes, YouTube definitely. Thank you, Benedict. Yes, YouTube works in Russia. I can't read your last whatever you've wrote there, so I hope it's polite. I won't put it on the screen in case it's not polite. Some people like to sneak words into their Russian comments, and I don't know what they are, so I appreciate everybody who makes comments, posts comments. Yeah. All right, so you're going to see a few Russian videos from in Moscow before you start seeing the ones, the I Left Russia video or the whatever video we start making either in Bali or Perth. So yeah, I hope some people might have signed up to the Telegram group or Telegram channel. I'm going to even open it while I'm here. I wonder. A few people did likes. Yeah, I just posted. I went today, by the way, for a burger at Miratok. If anybody's in Russia, Miratok's a supermarket chain in Russia that also is the biggest agriculture or biggest meat producer in Russia. So 238. What's the channel? 716. I think that's more than it was before. Thank you for your cozy stream. Thank you, Maxim. It's very nice. I like this, doing this streaming. You know, we have YouTube Premium for free, right? Yeah, that's actually because I watch a lot of YouTube now. I watch mostly because I'm watching more English content on YouTube, or I'm watching the sport on the other streaming website. So I appreciate not having ads. I mean, because you're clicking off them all the time and so on. So, yes. Okay. I think that's about all I got to say. Thank you for watching the live stream tonight. If you're watching on replay, maybe you didn't get to the end, but if you did, I hope you've enjoyed chatting. I like just doing the question and answer like this, not necessarily keeping to a topic. The escalator review thing, do you think is a good idea for a channel? It's just a goofy thing because I happen to have done two. And now I've thought about that one. I went all the way to Australia to ride an escalator. I wonder if that video title would work and go on that one in Perth Airport. The longest escalator in the Southern Hemisphere is actually that escalator, because there is websites dedicated to long escalators, by the way. 150 likes, 151 likes. Now I look. So nice. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm going to click end stream now. And again, if you'd like to post a comment after the stream ends, you're more than welcome to. I will be in the comments probably at least another half an hour after this finishes, in the comments of existing videos. So yeah, catch you later, everybody. And I'll see you in Perth or Bali on another video soon. Okay,